Hey Panthers, welcome to this week's Coach's Show. I'm Fletcher Newman here with Coach Wendel to discuss last week's game. The Panthers had a great team win last week on our homecoming game. Coach, what was going right for us Friday night?
We started off pretty strong. I felt like our offense just methodically moved the ball up and down the field. Did a lot of really good things. I thought our offensive line graded out real good. We didn't have a whole lot of chunk plays where we were making big yardage plays at one time, but our execution was pretty good. Obviously, the defense was strong. We held them to 2 touchdowns, and kicking was okay, and just kind of executed the game plan. It wasn't we had such a emotional roller coaster for 2 weeks that we just had to focus on execution and our individual performance. And I thought we did a pretty good job of doing what we needed to do to win the game.
How did you feel about the atmosphere considering it was our homecoming game?
You know what? It was a lot cooler than it's been in 2 months or 6 months, and a lot of outside interest going on with homecoming and all that type of stuff. It wasn't a ruckus crowd or anything like that, but it's always fun to play at MISD Stadium and see it full. Kind of energizes our team, and it was a good atmosphere.
We held the Bulldogs to 2 touchdowns. What are your takeaways from that stat?
I thought our defense played really well. There was one drive that they did a couple wrinkles that they haven't done, and we kind of shut those down. And then they got a pass play at the end of it for a touchdown, and then later in the game they got a big pass play on us. A couple technique deals that we need to shore up, but by and large our Blue Storm showed up and played well. We challenged them all week that they need to come and hit, and I think we did a good job of that and really shut down their defense or their offense.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the Everman game.
So Trevor Blankenship played a great game, had 2 tremendous catches and run after the catch for first downs on 2 third downs. I think that was a 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9. Good run right here on kind of a wrinkle play that we put in last week, kind of a zone option. Got Nick around the edge with a couple lead blockers. I think fullback at that point was Ethan Hill, did a good job. The slot, Darren Greason had a good block there. Get a safety right here. Just overall really good defense, especially the front 7 all night long. Get the ball pulled and pitched right here. Good read by Nick, and just a good solid run by Mr. Consistency, Jeremy McCoy. This is the second one to Trevor Blankenship, 3rd and 12. This is the pass play we felt best about all week in practice that we executed. Trevor does a great job of getting through there without running into those linebackers. 3rd and 12, and I think it's a 2-score game at that point and extends that drive. Big play in the game. I have the zone option, same play that he scored on the last time, just going the other way this time with Jeremy McCoy blocking and Jay Smartin at the point of attack. Fullback getting out in front of him. This is our biggest yardage gain of the night. Darren does a good job of getting in pitch relationship. Nick does a good job of reading the option, pulling and pitching it, but if you watch Jeremy McCoy's block, the right slot, if you watch him go get the safety, his guy ends up on the ground. Then you see backside, the center is down here and blocked a safety. And good, fast, hard run by Darren, but great execution by 11 guys. And whenever you get 11 of them doing their job, it's pretty play.
Now let's take a look at some of the Friday night results of the other teams in our district.
Aledo ran away from Burleson High School, 57-21. Arlington Seguin lost to Waco University, 20-6. And Burleson Centennial eked out a close one against Cleburne in a wild game, 56-55.
We have one of your players here with us today. Coach, can you tell us a little about who's here?
Got Avery Gibson, really proud of Avery and the person that he is and has become. It seems like he's been with us as long as I've been here. He moved in his freshman year, and he's been on the varsity, not just a good contributor this year, but been a starter for 3 years in our program, and has really grown up and done a lot of good things for us and represents the Panthers the right way.
Let's visit with him. Here we have Avery Gibson. Avery, what's the atmosphere like on the field during a homecoming game?
It's really big. I mean, it's like big game of the year. Like everybody in the town comes out, and you have all the fans, and like especially as a senior, it's gonna be your last homecoming. So just to like make a couple good plays, just be ecstatic, and it's just a real good feeling to play on homecoming night.
Do you have any big plans this Friday night since you won't be on the field playing?
No. I mean, I might just hang out with family, a couple friends, and just watch some football over the weekend. That's about it.
The motto for this year is pound the stone. So how do you choose to pound the stone?
This motto is really actually important to me because like sometimes like I don't make the best plays. Like I have some like hiccups, but like if you just keep pounding the stone, like you'll always like if you just keep pushing, you'll have good outcome in the end. That's what I think pound the stone means to me.
Thanks, Avery. Coach, this week we will have a bye week. What does that mean for the team in these next 2 weeks in practice?
Well, we'll take care of our bodies and fill up our emotional tank this week and rest and recover a little bit. We're going to practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They got to go home Monday at 4 o'clock, first time all year. And they had last Saturday off, so we'll get 3 days of work in, have a little bit of fun on Friday. They'll get next weekend off, and then we'll be back to it on schedule next Monday.
What's been the theme for this week in practice?
We're going to start practice today. We're really focusing on fundamentals and execution of those fundamentals, and I think we've pinpointed some things at just about every position that we feel like we can get better at, and that's really going to be the emphasis this week, more so on ourselves and on our opponent.
What changes the weekly schedule for the team when there's no game on Friday?
Well, like I said, we're going to shorten practice a little bit, and we didn't practice Mondays, but we're still going to get 3 days of work in, and it'll by and large it'll end up being the same. It just kind of changes the days a little bit.
Now let's take a look at some of the rest of this week's district schedule. Coach, who do you think will win out of these games?
I think Seguin will beat Joshua. I think Aledo will beat Cleburne. And I think Centennial will beat University. Home teams win. And I do think Burleson High beats Everman.
Thanks, Coach. That wraps up this week's edition of the Coaches Show. Thank you for tuning in. Next week we'll have volleyball on our Coaches Show, so be sure to watch as we discuss volleyball with Coach Sackett. Thanks to Coach Wendel and Avery Gibson for being here. See you next week.